Good evening, race fans. Welcome into the round of 6 finale here for the LSRL gang. The Xfinity Series heads to the Pocono Mountains for 60 laps of on-track action. 2 laps of qualifying with a stage break coming at lap 25. A 70% fuel capacity, 4 tire sets to throw into the strategy mix, and 2 green-white checkers to settle it if needed here this evening. And as always, here with my co-commentator Art. How we doing tonight?
I'm doing great. We're at the tricky triangle, the dangerous Dorito. Glad they finally added a back wall down the back stretch. Although I would like to see cars potentially go into the forest. It would be kind of funny.
Did you really just call it the dangerous Dorito?
Dangerous Dorito. You got a problem with that?
That's a new one. But we're going to go ahead and get right into the on-track action qualifying underway here to set the field for the round of 4. One round with 4 that will eventually lead us into our championship 4. More on that later this evening. But we will trim from 6 to 4 and have a one-race shootout. But the first man across the line to start off on his time lap will be Eric Shields in the number 1 machine. Got Wawa on the car here this evening. Heard good things about them. A little loose there through 1, loose through 2. He's fighting the car. Keeps it out of the wall, though. Go on board down Long Pond straightaway into one of the trickiest turns on the NASCAR calendar, the tunnel turn. Gonna have utmost confidence to send it flat out through here. Still fighting a little bit of a loose condition there, it seems, but off into turn number 3 here for Eric Shields. Drive it in deep, hope that it sticks. A little bit of a downshift there. And off of turn number 3, not turn number 4, that I have to stop myself from saying. And Eric Shields' first lap will be 55.6. Michael Davis goes quicker. Joseph Green making his debut here tonight. Slots in 5th. Ryan Tiller across the line. Top of the board. One of your playoff contenders, Randy Arms, needs a good solid night here as well. Just made it through the tunnel turn.
Gotta say, the tunnel turn is probably my least favorite turn in racing. Not just, like, in the NASCAR series, in racing altogether.
It's tricky.
I am not a fan of it. I don't do well with tricks. I only like treats.
Randy Arms goes second quickest, 21 hundredths of a second over the course of a 55-second lap time. Nothing separating these guys. Randy's going to go up to the high side and 1 here. Corey Blevins currently holds the final transfer spot in 6th place. He'll be under pressure from Glenn Murphy Jr., who was unable to be here last week for Talladega. How about it, Jonathan Mazzella? 1/1000th of a second. Top of the board. On board here with Glenn Murphy Jr. He's going to need a big night here tonight. He wants to advance to the next round. Jonathan Schwartz pumps in a 54. Very good lap time from that 58 machine. And across the line for the 48. He will go top of the board.
Top of the board.
54.8. First man to dip into the 54.8s.
He's gonna probably need, like, the greatest night of LSRL racing history to make it into the round of 4.
He's fighting this man, Corey Blevins. So we are halfway through this very important qualifying session. Into turn number 3. Josh Lambert slots into that 2nd position. Coming off the final turn, the 13 machine. Cross the line, and he will slot into only P11. Tony Scarbo sets off on his first lap. '29 machine came up a handful of points short from advancing into the round of 6. Personal best there for A lot of these guys coming in. Nathaniel Landwehr, personal best for him in the first sector, as well as Tony Scarbo and Corey Blevins on his second and final lap. Nathaniel Landwehr's time good enough for P10. Scarbo and Blevins roughly in identical spots on the racetrack. Off of turn number 3. Scarbo and the 29 team will slot into the 9th position as Corey Blevins will go 10th.
I'm real curious about what Jared Lindsay can do. He was top of the board for practice. You gotta assume that was a lot of draft, but you never know.
Here's through turn number 3 for his first lap. Personal best in the first half of the lap. A little bit sideways off of turn number 3, but to the line. Crosses the stripe in that 18. Quickest overall.
Goes P1.
Yeah, with an amazing second half of the lap. Half of a tenth between him and Glenn Murphy Jr. How about it? The 18 machine.
Said he is here to do work.
Tony Scarbo on his second and final lap. Not able to improve in the first half of the lap. Let's see what he can do here. Coming off of turn number 3, car looks a little bit out of shape there, but keeps it out of the wall, and he'll cross the line. 56.2. Not able to improve. Adam Kilday is just joined the session, hopping out on his outlap. Heading off through the tunnel turn. Got to carry a lot of speed as you head into that third and final turn to get you set up perfectly for your first lap. We'll see what he's able to do here. Through turn number 3, we'll go on board with him. Adam Kilday, the only man on track, has 2 laps to see where he can put the 14 machine. He'll set off with plenty of time to complete both. Down the huge front stretch, you can see these guys get 4 and 5 wide on restarts. Braking just after that first cone there on the right side. Looks to be right wrapping the middle there through that second groove. Looks pretty stable, all things considered. Down the long pond straightaway, heading towards the tunnel turn. 3, 2, and 1 orange cones, the lift point. Trying to wrap that yellow line. Back end slides out on him, and he's going to be able to save it, but he's going to lose a lot of time as he heads off into turn number 3. Just after that orange cone on the right side. Some pretty identifiable braking points here this evening for these drivers. And off of turn number 3, again fighting a very loose race car. He's going to lose plenty of time as he sets off on his second and final lap. Good enough for 14th, though, so if he can put a lap together here, he might be able to get a top 10 out of it. He did not know he had a second lap. He lifted there very early. Now you can see he's tight through 1.
He's getting real close to the wall.
So on that first lap, he was battling a loose condition, and on the second lap so far, tight condition for this 14 machine, who currently sits in the 14th position. Drives it in very deep on lap number 2. See if he can make the back end planted, but it's tight again, and he'll end up into the inside wall. And that will end your qualifying session, but not for a lack of trying from Adam Kilday. See, both are entertaining, though. You got 2 great choices. But that'll do it here for qualifying. Jared Lindsay, your pole sitter here this evening. Let's take a look at your championship standings as they came into tonight. You can see there your top 6, all the way down to Josh Lambert and Glenn Murphy Jr. trying to somehow end up above Corey Blevins as tonight ends. 17-point gap between 4th and 5th, 18-point gap between 4th and 6th. And further back, you can see that Scarbo and John Furnass were eliminated in the last round. Jonathan Mazzella was the first man out.
Mozzarella.
Jonathan Mozzarella, that's what we'll call him. Take another look here. An alternate view, specifically of your championship 6 contenders and where they stand right now. Jonathan Schwartz just has to finish the race. He'll be in. Ryan Tiller, Randy Arms need solid top 10 nights. And then Corey Blevins going to be having a fight for some stage points and hold off the hard charger of Glenn Murphy Jr. here this evening.
And he's going to have to do it from the back. There'll have to be a strategy call there to get him more towards the front.
Glenn Murphy Jr. starting outside pole. Corey Blevins outside of the stage points. So we know if Glenn Murphy Jr. can get up there, finish first and second, have a clean race, the 0x bonus for the bonus points for a 0x race are in play. Bonus points for leading a lap, the most laps, and finishing the entire race under your own power. We'll throw everything into the mix here as well. So it's going to be an exciting 60 laps here in the Pocono Mountains. The stage break coming just before halfway at lap number 25. 18 drivers are waiting on just a couple more to grid up. We will be let off here tonight by Jared Lindsay. Just waiting on Corey Blevins to grid up, and we will be underway here for one pace lap. While that we were waiting on that, let's go ahead and get a quick word in from tonight's sponsors, putting on this round of 6 finale and the entire season, making all this on-track action possible. Massive shout out to tonight's sponsors, Grid Finder, Wilder Graphics, and Butt Kicker, as well as Sim 3D, Sim Speed Shop, and Sim Racer Hub for putting on all of this great action. Thank you for coming on board with the Lightspeed Racing League. We're getting ready to come through turn number 3 here. Picks to win tonight, Art. Excuse me? All right. Don't know where he went.
I had my mic up for the ad. My bad.
Give me Jared Lindsay, the pole sitter. We're going front row. Contact already to the back of the 48. And you know what? While they were gridding up, coming off of pit road, I did see Josh Lambert make a sudden move to the inside. And it looks like he got back into the back bumper of Glenn Murphy Jr.
Glenn Murphy, my pick to win. Not looking great. He's got damage already.
Jared Lindsay will lead through turn number 1. Jonathan Schwartz already up 2 spots. Glenn Murphy Jr. going to have damage to fix right off the rip. Might have lost that 0x bonus through no fault of his own. But side by side for second.
And that is a lot of damage to that rear bumper. It is jutted up in the middle. Yeah, I was going on a whole spiel about why I was picking him, and I was just muted.
Yeah, Josh Lambert has damage to that left front, so just guys not paying attention during the gridding stage. Look at Jonathan Schwartz all the way down to the inside, trying to break the toe. Not letting Josh Lambert close up to the back bumper, but side by side still for the entire lap. Jared Lindsay all the way up against the wall. Back end hang out just a little bit. Side by side further back, Ryan Tillert going at it with Dylan Bird. He slots in behind Michael Davis and Randy Arms, who both picked up spots on the opening lap. As well as Adam Kilday and Casey Brown.
Doesn't look like the tail might be affecting Glenn Murphy that much. He was able to get back around Jonathan Schwartz.
Now he's got half a second to our race leader. We'll see if he can track him down. Corey Blevins still sits in the 12th position. This whole field nose to tail separated by about 2 seconds, all the way back to Travis DeLeon, who fixed his paint scheme this week. Actually, that was his teammate, Chris Pinder, who has also fixed his paint scheme. So both the CMS boys looking fresh as usual in the correct paint schemes.
Chris Pinder shiny and gold. I do love that they have chrome schemes. Pretty rare.
Give me a wreck. That's not going to happen tonight, most likely. The LSRL boys, known for their extremely clean racing, side by side, door to door at times, but very respectful. They only average about 1.5 cautions per race outside of the stage caution. We had a 3-week span earlier in the season where there was no cautions outside of the stage caution. See Jared Lindsay trying to break the toe. Ben Murphy Jr. trying to get that draft. Side by side further back, Jonathan Mazzella. Aid of Randy Arms. You can see people trying to search out where the grip is at.
These drivers have a little bit of professionalism. They understand give and take.
The 8 machine used that high line and crossed over the 41, and he'll get the position down into the tunnel turn. Put him up 2 spots. Corey Blevins has picked up a spot on Scarebo. That'll put him in P11 as he's trying to get up to Nathaniel Landwehr and pick up crucial stage points as they go side by side entering turn number 3, him and Dylan Bird. Right now, field single file. Jared Lindsay again trying to break the draft. Randy Arms under pressure from the 41. Randy Arms is putting Josh Lambert under pressure all the while. 29 way up top. Bringing the 41 right with him, maybe, but he'll slide up and give the draft down the long pond back straightaway to the 26, but that 41 motoring through on the bottom. Tell you what,
almost too wide through the tunnel turn.
I'd be more concerned if you're Josh Lambert at this point. You're down 3 spots in the early going. You made a mistake on the formation lap, and you gave yourself critical aero damage to the front left of that 26 machine. Glenn Murphy Jr., excuse me, all his damage is right in the back of the car, but the air is not going to be affected as heavily as it is on that 26 machine. Look at this, where we're doing IndyCar strats here. Everyone trying to go down and get this draft. They know how important it is.
Hey, at least it's not like F1 where you only have a certain number of moves you can make.
The 57 of Michael Davis in a new paint scheme this week. Very fresh on that 57. Love to see it. Good looking field here. The Moza Racing 57. Hashtag ad. Maybe. Hopefully soon. He'll fall back in line. That'll allow Ryan Tiller to close up.
Corey Blevins fighting on Dylan Bird.
Yeah, this will be side by side for 10th and a crucial stage point for this 13 team. Trying to bring Scarebo with them.
Turn 3. I think he'll have the run.
See if the 4 can get a run off that high side. Doesn't look like he's able to just yet. You can see here, 5-lane front straightaway. If they had the run, they're going to take it. They have plenty of room to do so. Into turn number 1, and the 13 will hold position and try and set off after Nathaniel Landwehr. It's Ryan Tiller trying to put this 57 under some pressure.
Mitchell Bagley redeemed to crank it up.
Lap number 7 here, and we're going to crank it up live here tonight on YJ Media. Nobody wrecked during the crank it up, but we did have a pass for second as Jonathan Schwartz able to move up past Glenn Murphy Jr. Second through fifth. Right under a blanket here. Only half a second separating these 4 drivers as Jared Lindy continues to pace the field.
Yeah, this isn't a battle that they really want to be having. They're pulling Randy Arms right into it. And Randy Arms are real strong on the long run.
There's Ryan Tiller and Josh Lambert, who is continuing to fall back with that left front damage. Just behind them, Corey Blevins and Nathaniel Landwehr going at it for
Blevins is going for Landwehr, yeah.
Gonna send it into the low side here. Turn number 3, we'll see if the 66 can fight back with the run off the top side. 66 going to follow Ryan Tiller through, push him down the front straightaway. Should help the 23 out with the battle with Josh Lambert. Has half a car length ahead as they head into turn number 1. It will be a whole car length by the time they get to corner entrance. Next up is Nathaniel Landwehr trying to complete the same pass.
We're about to be 3 wide at Pocono. Corey Blevins looking on the inside.
This could be a little bit interesting as they head down Long Pond back straightaway. Settles down to 2 wide. Still 2 wide through the tunnel turn. That's going to compromise Corey Blevins' entrance, middle, and exit. And he's under pressure from Dylan Bird. He's going to pull to his inside.
And Bird's pulling Scarbo. If this battle takes too long, it might bring Scarbo into it.
An aggressive move there from the 13 actually cost him time. Dylan Bird not able to complete the pass that time around. I saw a couple of cars get very close to that turn 3 wall during that crank it up as well. It might have been Michael Davis, but right now just chilling in the 6th position.
Yeah, not a good look for Blevins. He needs all the stage points he can get to try and, distance himself from Glenn Murphy Jr. Although he is loving the fact that Lambert's coming back to him.
Yeah, Glenn Murphy Jr. lost the position. The closer these guys are on track, the worse it is for Glenn Murphy Jr., the better it is for Corey Blevins right now. Glenn Murphy Jr. will be getting 8 stage points. And Corey Blevins 1. So for a 7-point net gain, that would leave 10 points between them in terms of finishing position that Glenn Murphy Jr. would have to have.
And I believe, we can kind of make the assumption if Glenn Murphy Jr. has that much damage, he might have already lost the 0x. So that's, I believe, another 5 points.
Absolutely.
Hopefully he can appeal that, but I don't know if they would take it off. I don't think that's something we've dealt with this season is incidental contact for stuff like that.
Right. He's still tracking pretty good. Got still halfway to go until the stage, so he's got plenty of time to re-rack, and he'll be able to fix that damage, of course, during the stage break. whatever he might have, it shouldn't be more than a minute, which he'll get during the pace lap here. Travis DeLeon and Adam Kilday going at it here for the 16th position. Joseph Green in his debut kind of just logging laps. Right now, no damage on the car, so he's keeping it clean, trying to build that notebook. A little bit of right side damage, maybe a brush or two at the wall, but nothing too serious for the 42.
Gonna pose the question, if you're Glenn Murphy Jr., who has been fighting for second place, like he's had good position the entire race so far. If it's over 30 seconds of damage, do you stay and get it fixed and have to fight your way through the field?
I would say you kind of have to, because right now the gap only 1.3 seconds, and over the course of 13 laps at Pocono, that could easily be the difference.
But so could having to make your way through the field. Like,
ooh,
Mazela hit the wall.
Had all sorts of sideways there for the 41. Some right side damage to the rear of that car. We've got 2.5 seconds on Michael Davis, who's under pressure from Ryan Tiller, who needed a top 10 result tonight, and he's looking very racy on the long runs. Trying to pull off this pass here on the 57. And Corey Blevins picks up another spot. Josh Lambert down 7 positions with that left front damage. Up next to pass him would be Dylan Bird, so this is boding better for Corey Blevins' race as he continues to get closer and closer to Glenn Murphy Jr. Ryan Tiller thought about making a move there through turn number 1, and 57 got him back on the exit. These two battles we're watching here, 6th and 7th, 8th and 9th and 10th. Tony Schiavo not too far behind, so really this is 6th to 12th, only separated by just over a second or so. Chris Pinder and Casey Brown going side by side through turn number 3, bringing Eric Shields right into the mix. And just behind them, Adam Kilday and Travis DeLeon going side by side there for a moment.
Eric Shields trying to get right back up under Pinder. Gonna make turn 1 a little bit interesting for these guys.
Side by side, the one on the bottom, 24 hits that bump, middle of the corner, drifts up a little bit. He'll have the run on exit. So he tries to crossover just a bit too far back. Eric Shields put him up into the 14th position.
Doesn't look like he had a run out of the corner. I think that bump just kind of threw the car off and he just wanted to get it settled down. Ryan Taylor did make his way around Michael Davis.
Take a look at how he did it. Seven just kind of hands it over.
First pit stop, actually. Jonathan Schwartz, sorry. Jonathan Schwartz in for a stop.
So he's going to split this stage right in half. We know he loves his alternative strategies. He even managed to find one at Talladega last week to win that stage and put him in a great position here tonight. It's a pretty low-risk race for him. Just has to finish, obviously leading the standings coming into tonight. He's doing a very nice job, so he's going to try a alternative strategy to see if he can pick up a couple more spots before the end of this stage.
Did you say in half? I said, did you say in half? Stage is 25.
Yeah, well,
so yeah, I'm making sure.
It's like 60-40.
Yeah. Just gotta make sure.
Now, how about Jared Lindsay in the 18 machine? 2 seconds over Glenn Murphy Jr., who, courtesy of the pit stop from Jonathan Schwartz, has taken back over that second place. Corey Blevins picks up another spot, 8th as well, so both a net gain for both of those drivers.
Yeah, Lindsay just coming out and being the dominant car here today. It's definitely not what but Glenn Murphy wanted to see. Like, I don't know if that damage is affecting him as much as, like, it looks like it might be. But I like to think that Glenn Murphy might have had a little more for him if it wasn't for the damage.
We'll see what he can do at this stage break here. With the benefit of Pocono, green flag pit stop, Jonathan Schwartz will remain on the lead lap. So he's allowed to try that alternative strategy at low risk. He'll get caught back up here in just a matter of laps. How about Jared Lindsay, huh? Only made 2 starts this season. And in his third start, he's looking to go to victory lane, potentially.
He knew his track, and he picked it well.
But in his 2 starts, Jared Lindsay, average finish of 16th. Massively over exceeding his first 2 starts. A little bit of bad luck in both. He's shown more speed. And it is paying off for him here tonight. Dominating performance thus far. We'll see what kind of adjustments he needs for the long haul as we pit on lap number 25. Shorts, the quickest man on track by far. He has 37 seconds to make up, though, in only a handful of laps. He has to make up 28 seconds on Dylan Bird if he wants a chance at stage points. But running almost 2.5 seconds quicker. Take a look at him and Joseph Green, who's only 8 seconds up the road. Last lap for Joseph Green in the 42, a 58.70. Last lap for Jonathan Schwartz, a 55.02.
He's actually almost a second and a half faster than the leader.
You're not going to be able to catch Jared Lindsay, obviously, but he has gained 4 seconds on him since the pit stops. Everyone else looks content to stay out as long as they can. Ryan Tiller doing a very nice job. Got by Nathaniel Landwehr. And Ryan Tiller going to come in as well, so strategy being played here for sure.
It's kind of wild this deep in a run. Jared Lindsay almost half a second faster than second and third.
Tell you what, though, let's go on board here. Let's find out if these guys are trying to make it to lap 25 by saving. Especially Randy Arms, who's in the draft of his teammate, but just like that, going to pull down to the inside, side by side as they enter the tunnel turn. And sure enough, Glenn Murphy Jr. is saving. Watch him as he goes off into turn number 3 here. Puts the clutch in, no revs on the engine, trying to save fuel. His teammate Randy Arms was behind him in the draft for so long. The 8 machine definitely could have taken advantage. Let's see what Jared Lindsay's doing here in the 18 machine. Not saving at the moment. Glenn Murphy Jr. saving. Randy Arms saving as well.
Yeah, I definitely think they can make it. Although if I'm Glenn Murphy Jr., I'm talking to Randy. I'm like, hey, bud, I really need that spot.
I'll fight for my life here. You got oodles and oodles of points. Joseph Green in. His pit stop. And out front, Jared Lindsay. He's coming into pit. Gonna say he was not saving. Here comes Randy Arms. Gonna stay out, and Glenn Murphy Jr. obviously gonna stay out. They have to make it around under caution to get back to their box. Corey Blevins is in as well. Tony's scared, but this is what Jonathan Schwartz was doing. He said, I'm not saving whatsoever. I'm going balls to the wall. Gonna take a set of tires early. I'm not gonna have to save whatsoever. Just put in these great lap times. He might just very well end up ahead of these guys.
Yeah, and with how close we are to the end of the stage, he was picking up well over a second a lap on those guys. So, like, I think there's a good
chance. He's leaving his
chance.
pit stop. Here comes Jonathan Schwartz. And around goes Jonathan Schwartz with those 4 fresh tires. Jared Lindsay only took a splash and dash, so he's not even going to have the tires to contend with Schwartz. So we'll see if more and more guys pit. Schwartz only needs a couple more guys to come down pit lane.
And it's not like they're hurting for tires. They have 3 extra sets. They could take one here, take one at the stage break, and then take one for their last pit cycle. I don't understand why you wouldn't take tires here.
Well, if you're pitting this late into the run, it doesn't really do you any good. to just waste them for 2 laps and the stage caution comes out. So I can see the point of view there for Jared Lindsay.
True, plus if we get to the end of the race, and if there does happen to be a late race caution, always have a set.
Let's go on board here with Randy Arms. He's not saving anymore. Glenn Murphy Jr. still having to save, so we'll see who's got it right.
Well, Landwehr is starting to pull in a little bit. That time by, he was almost a second faster than Glenn Murphy Jr.
So he's having to save. Glenn Murphy Jr. saving. Randy Arms not saving. Yeah, Nathaniel Landwehr was a second quicker last lap.
And pit lane has closed, so if you haven't made a decision, it's been made for you.
Yep, everyone else has missed the train. But Randy Arms, now he's starting to shut the car off. Glenn Murphy Jr. 1.2 seconds back. Corey Blevins down in 16th will not be receiving stage points with that strategy call.
Unless cars start running out. And right now, it looks like Adam Kilday, who's moved up into 10th. 10 seconds ahead of Schwartz. Schwartz, with his call, might not even get
no one else came down to pit, so they feel confident. They have to make it around under yellow.
Although here's a battle. Landwehr's got onto the back of Glenn Murphy Jr.
Glenn Murphy Jr. needs every possible point he can get, but he can't run out of fuel. That'd be his race over.
I think he's going to have to fight for it.
Dylan
Caution's
Bird.
going to come out next time by.
Gap is 1.7 seconds. Randy Arm is still shutting the car off, as is Glenn Murphy Jr. Nathaniel Landwehr not saving. He's back to the throttle early. Going to have a run down the back straightaway. Looking to the inside. 1.6 seconds to your race leader.
I think Glenn Murphy's letting him have it.
They are
I think he's shutting
massively
up
off.
down the backstretch.
They are massively off the pace. It is a second between Randy Arms and Nathaniel Landwehr. So I'll be worried if Landwehr runs out here. He is not saving whatsoever compared to the rest of these guys.
Glenn Murphy Jr. was shutting off down the backstretch.
Yeah, he is in aggressive fuel-saving mode. Gap is under a second with turn number 3. Randy Arms has to power up, get down the front straightaway. Glenn Murphy Jr. is in danger of losing third here. Caution is out. He'll get the third place. And now they're all going to
immediately
shutting the car off. Go on board with him. Josh Lambert actually has to come down and pit. So these guys were on fumes.
I believe he'll be getting a penalty for that.
Glenn Murphy Jr. shutting the car off. Randy Arms shutting the car off. Nathaniel Landwehr now is saving. Jonathan Mazzella saving. Michael Davis is saving. Dylan Bird. Casey Brown. Travis DeLeon does not have to save. Adam Kilday not saving. Eric Shields does not have to save. And then 11th on back is everyone that came down to pit. But they have caught up to the pace car. No lap down cars except for Joseph Green. They should be able to pit this time by. It looks like they'll be able to make it just fine. But they're still shutting the car off just to be safe.
Saying they'll be just fine, I think, is a little bit of an overstatement. I don't know if they're just fine. I think they're still...
But look how far back Glenn Murphy Jr. is. He is not pushing the pace at all. So he was really on edge. And then Mazzella's giving him 3 seconds. I mean, a lot of these guys are really just on the edge.
I think Kilday ran out. Kilday was given an EOL.
It looks like it's sputtering. Glenn Murphy Jr. just coasting down pit road. Randy Arms. Nathaniel Landwehr looked like they're going to be just fine, but everybody's shutting off the car, trying to make it. Glenn Murphy Jr. still has a little bit of gas left. He's going to be just fine getting there. Randy Arms and Landwehr into their box. Mazzella looks to be fine. Dylan Bird fine. Michael Davis. Contact made on pit road as these guys are trying to enter their box all at the same location 3 in a row. 41 picks up a bit of damage. Well, this is how Corey Blevins is going to fight back at those stage points, though. He's going to stay out and lead a lap. He took 4 fresh tires on lap 21. He's going to gain a point back there. Definitely some strategy calls being played. We know these drivers can stretch it 25 laps. Do you come down a second time, hope for a caution maybe, or do you try and stretch it even more in the second stint?
I think you cannot stretch it. They were
need an extra 5 laps. So.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering what madman tries to do such a thing. There's always that one that tries. But with this, Joseph Green, you saw him go around. He was your lucky dog. All cars back on the lead lap. And Adam Kildare is not going to make it to his box, I don't believe. It's going to be super close. He's going 11 miles an hour. He started in the 14th position, so he's got a couple of more boxes to go through. 10 miles an hour. This is actually exhilarating. He can see his pit sign.
I don't think he has enough.
9 miles an hour. He's turning in. You can see the white 14. He's going to go a lap down from this, but he just wants a chance. 8 miles an hour. Don't miss your box. He's in his box. You got to stop on the mark. He's going to do it. Right side's on and a full tank of Sunoco Racing fuel. So actually him and Joseph Green will be another lap down here as they came down to fix some. He came down to fix damage. Adam Kildare was out of fuel. Everyone except your top 2 came in on the lap 26 caution. So let's take a look here at your pit strategy as it runs now. Lap 21. For Pinder and Blevins, the rest of your top 9 came down on lap 26. So,
and Glenn Murphy Jr. did in fact stay in the entire time to get damage fixed. He's all the way at the back.
The back bumper of that 48 a little bit cleaner, but not completely fixed. He's just going to have to deal with this the rest of the way, but it is not as bad as it was at the start. So Blevins and Pinder are going to have to come in. They have no shot at making it to the end.
No one has a shot.
Lap 26, we go back on 29, add 25 to that, and you come up roughly 6 laps short or something like that. So you have to save right off the rip.
I think we see drivers, because Blevins is obviously going to run it as aggressive as he can, try and get out to that lead and just come in early, pit, take tires. I think we might see the same strategy out of Glenn Murphy Jr. Run it as hard as he can, come in, get tires, go out. He's got to have some kind of strategy to undercut these leaders and get himself in the lead for at least a lap.
The top 2 don't spin their tires. Randy Arms all over the back bumper of the 13 down into turn number 1. As the field's starting to be very patient, 2 by 2. No one dove down like they do in real life with 40 drivers. Pinder up high, trying to get the runoff. He'll be side by side for 3rd. Gets a piece of the wall, but keeps it mostly straight. But here's the race that I'm interested in. Jared Lindsay's mired back in traffic. He's got Jonathan Schwartz all over him. Glenn Murphy Jr. in the mix as well. But we'll see how this 18 machine handles traffic for the first time today. So far, no issue. Inside, Casey Brown, Jonathan Schwartz trying to take a peek there through the middle. They were 3 wide, still are. The 58 very aggressive here, trying to find a way around the 18. Knows it's his best chance. Look at Eric Shields going way up top. 3 wide, almost. Runs out of real estate. Pinder hits the wall. Michael Davis going to be pushed down the front straightaway by this 18 machine. And up front, it's a 2-car breakaway. Nathaniel Landwehr, another 8/10 back under pressure from Dylan Bird.
And actually, Dylan Bird and Landwehr were kind of going at it. They were side by side through the tunnel turn last lap by, and they just started beating after the tunnel turn. Well, they don't seem very happy with each other.
The 13 continues to lead. Randy Arms all over his back bumper. Has slightly fresher tires. Came in under that yellow, so Corey Blevins has just a handful of laps on his Goodyear tires. Nathaniel Landwehr trying to close the gap. Jared Lindsay is through most of the traffic. So Schwartz and Glenn Murphy Jr. are going to have to find a way around the rest of them as well. Ryan Tiller side by side further back with the 41 machine. Josh Lambert looks to have gotten some of that damage fixed to the left front. Battle for the lucky dog is Adam Kildays as Joseph Green was late getting off a pit road. Randy Arms searching for grip up on the high side now. Gasses it up a little early. You can see the gap coming down. And right up to the back bumper. Going to take a move down to the inside. And they will be side by side for the race lead as they enter the tunnel turn here. Lap number 31. And Corey Blevins gives the spot up for now. Halfway this time when they come around the stripe. Jared Lindsay already up to 5th.
You said I don't think Blevins has much give in those tires. I just think Randy's got them beat. Little fresher tires make a lot of difference here.
I think Jared Lindsay might have this field covered. Trying to find a way around Michael Davis. Glenn Murphy Jr. going to come to his aid, pushing him down the front straightaway if he can. They are losing time to Jared Lindsay all the while.
Looked like they were door banging coming out of 3.
Randy Arms with some clean air might just be what this 8 machine needs, but Jared Lindsay's been in a different area code for most of the night. He's already up to 4th. He's the quickest man on the racetrack by far. Looking inside Nathaniel Landwehr for 3rd.
Lindsay was almost half a second faster than Randy Arms, and that was in traffic.
Glenn Murphy Jr. and Jonathan Schwartz were able to get by Michael Davis. Take a look at how he did it. Outside of the tunnel turn, side by side into turn number 3. Drives it in deep. These guys were fighting for a whole lap.
Jared Lindsay, that time by, was 4/10 faster than our leader.
He's already on the back bumper of Corey Blevins for 2nd. And just ahead of that is our race leader, Randy Arms. Corey Blevins just got to be careful, realize the situation. You got slightly older tires that are hard-charging Jared Lindsay with nothing to lose. Don't really want to hold him up too much. Just getting yourself turned and back down to 16th position. You didn't get any stage points. We start lap number 34.
Yeah, right now I think the biggest thing for Blevins is to do whatever he can to make sure he does not get like penalty point. No X's, no nothing.
Landwehr shot up in the background there, way up to the top side of the racetrack. Jared Lindsay gets through no issues. Corey Blevins will be under pressure from Landwehr next up. We've got a great run off the top side of the racetrack. They'll be side by side into the tunnel turn. Corey Blevins doesn't fight it too hard.
I think Blevins is really thinking about that, 0x bonus right now.
Look at the teammates, 48 and 58 side by side. The 58 had just gotten around Dylan Bird, and then while that was happening, the 48 got around them both. Let's take a look here. Down the back straightaway into the tunnel turn. Slides up, gets a little bit tight on exit, and that allows Glenn Murphy Jr. to pick up the spot going into turn number 3. Now he's got Corey Blevins just ahead of him. Jared Lindsay has 4/10 of a second to Randy Arms. Last lap.
They ran almost identical.
So maybe the 18 burned his stuff up getting through traffic. Randy Arms has had the benefit of clean air since we went back green. There's a hornet's nest further on back here. Josh Lambert, Chris Pinder, Jonathan Mazzella, Eric Shields, Tony Scarbo all in the mix here, fighting just inside the top 15.
I think Eric Shields, he got a piece of the wall there.
Glenn Murphy Jr. out of his cockpit. He knows he has to get around that 13, but that still won't be enough. He's going to need that 13 to fall back even more. He has a net gain on him right now due to the courtesy of that third place stage finish. He gained 8 points of that 17 points. So right now, discounting finishing positions and bonus points, it's a 9-point gap between the two. Corey Blevins led a lap though, so gap is back to 10 points since he stayed out under that caution.
And I believe right now, Blevins, no incidents. Like, I'm going to assume that Glenn Murphy has lost his no incident bonus.
He is closing in on that 13. Jared Lindsay closing in on the 8 machine of Randy Arms. His progress has slowed slightly. But look at that, he's going to send it in. Oh, he sent it in so deep, got to the left for a quarter panel. Sent that from 2.5 car lengths back. Oh my goodness. That's confidence in your machinery right there.
They're going to be side by side through the tunnels, or no, Randy Arms lifts. He does not want those kind of problems.
No need to. It's not a guaranteed lock that he
Oh, but he got the run.
Yeah.
They're blocking.
That's a teammate, by the way. Got to remember, they're racing hard.
Oh, Glenn Murphy Jr. is making the pass on Blevins. He got around him to turn 3.
So the strategy that Corey Blevins is on actually isn't a bad one, though, because he was running right around the 8th position, maybe just outside the top 10, just inside of it. But with that strategy coming in early, he's able to jump a couple of guys. And right now, even though he might get passed by Schwartz here, it's roughly 2.5 seconds back to those guys battling for 10th. So he's going to come out a net gain here if he can just hold on and get stabilized. Jonathan Mazzella is in for his final stop of the night. Fuel window is open. Dylan Bird and Michael Davis side by side through the tunnel turn.
I think we start to really see drivers come in around lap 40, maybe 45. I think that's probably like the perfect window to get the most out of some new tires.
And Randy Arms is not letting Jared Lindsay get away just yet. Gap is still 2 car lengths. And closing down the front stretch due to the draft. Glenn Murphy Jr. only 1.5 seconds behind this battle. And Nathaniel Landwehr waiting if something happens between your top 2. Eric Shields is in for his final stop of the night. Due to the stage caution at lap 25, you kind of have to find that balance. You don't want to come in right as the fuel window opens because there still is a little bit of life in the tires. Fall off only about a second off. So you don't want to burn your stuff up now and be vulnerable at the end of the race when guys that stayed out a little bit longer. So you got to find that sweet spot. I'm thinking maybe it's about 15 laps to go. We'll see here. It's going to depend on a lot of things, though, especially if these top 2 continue to battle. If you're Glenn Murphy Jr., you're definitely considering coming in a lap early as they continue to battle up at the front.
Yeah, I got to believe if Glenn Murphy wants a shot, he's got to come in at least a lap or 2 ahead of these leaders.
Take advantage of the fresh tires. Corey Blevins kind of stabilized in 6th position, so he's looking pretty strong here. Just kind of has to hold on. Right now, thinking that Josh Lambert needs a lot of help. How ironic that Lambert and Glenn Murphy Jr. were on the outside looking in, and then Lambert runs into the back of Glenn Murphy Jr. on the formation lap. Josh Lambert is going to need a miracle here if he wants a shot to get in. Still has that left front damage. How about this? Gap is nothing. He's all over the back bumper of Jared Lindsay, pushing him practically down the front straightaway. There's no practically about it. They were pushing each other into turn number 1. 20 laps to go.
I wonder if he tries to get him into one, like, maybe send him in a little hotter than he wants to. Make him get up off the gas.
Jimmy Johnson, Kevin Harvick at Auto Club all those years ago, sent him into the corner faster than he wants to go. Chris Pinder in for his final stop of the night. 4 tires and fill it up with Sunoco Racing Heel. But Randy Arm's done a nice job since he got passed by that 18 machine, not letting him get away. Nathaniel Landwehr doing a nice job, hanging on right about half a second, 6 to 7 tenths maybe. Jared Lindsay a little bit quicker there through 3. Dylan Bird and Ryan Tiller in. They're following each other right in. All about whose crew can get them out quicker.
And I think Glenn Murphy, he's going to have to call his shot relatively soon. He's starting to follow up just a little more than the leader.
The leaders have the benefit of pushing each other along the racetrack. Randy Arm's practically bump drafting and pushing the 18 along a little bit quicker. Nathaniel Landwehr, he's sitting in the draft as well. Glenn Murphy Jr. having to work a little bit harder. Gap is 1.4, so we had an excellent tunnel turn there. We'll see who blinks first out of this top 5. Jonathan Schwartz only 2 seconds back, so maybe someone like him definitely thinks about making a move.
Neither of them go for it. Anyone else through the field? Here comes Lambert.
Yeah, so he's definitely trying to get up there, pulling the undercut on the rest of his competitors, trying to do anything he can to get back into contention.
So that'll leave our top 10 right now, having not pitted.
Corey Blevins under pressure here again, but he's right again. This worked out as a net positive for him. He was running at highest in that first run, was 8th. So even if he gets past here, it's a net gain of 1 position, considering green flag pit stops are underway. Turn number 3 here. Who blinks? And Murphy Jr. lost a couple of tenths last lap.
They both do. Both leaders coming in. Glenn Murphy with them. He's going to have to be real hot to try and close up the gap.
Corey Blevins coming in as well, so all the relevant championship contenders coming in. Going to need a good stop there from their crew. Nathaniel Landwehr. Jonathan Schwartz will have to respond next lap. Oh, and Randy Arm's going to loop it into his box. Look how hot the 48 got into his box. He was trying to make up time. Crucial mistakes in the championship. And he still hasn't backed it up yet. The 8 and the 48 tried everything they could on pit road, and Jared Lindsay might have a cakewalk the rest of the way.
That is...
tried to make up so much time there. The 8, Randy Arms spun it getting in, but I don't understand that from Glenn Murphy Jr. because he wasn't racing particularly Jared Lindsay.
Did Blevins speed?
Corey Blevins did speed, so another mistake. And now if you're Glenn Murphy Jr., you're absolutely kicking yourself. That was the opportunity he needed.
I mean, he still has a chance.
Guys ahead of him are going to pit, but Corey Blevins spent 57 seconds in his box. He'll come out in the 16th position, half of a track behind his next competitor.
What a pit cycle.
But Glenn Murphy Jr. has to get on the hurry up here. His mistake wasn't as bad as Randy Arms, but he needs to pick up positions here the last 16 laps. Didn't hit anything, no damage, just an extended time on pit road. Casey Brown is in, Tony Scarborough, and Jared Lindsay comes out ahead of Nathaniel Landwehr, 1.2 seconds. The gap between Nathaniel Landwehr and Glenn Murphy Jr. is 10 seconds. It was a second before that. So 9 seconds lost between Glenn Murphy Jr. Has to get back to third some way, somehow. Gets by the lap car of Joseph Green. He's got Eric Shields up ahead just by a second. With 15 laps to go, he's going to be pushing like mad till the end. I could reasonably see him getting up to maybe 7th, 6th maybe.
We're about to be 3 wide potentially going into turn 1. Dylan Bird, Jonathan Schwartz, and Mazzela. Mazzela backs out of it.
Put Jonathan Schwartz through. Yeah, but I could easily see him getting to 8th. Maybe 7th. Top 5 will be a stretch. Got Eric Shields just up ahead of him. 14 laps to go. High drama. Corey Blevins is going to be hard-pressed to pick up another spot. He's 29 seconds behind Chris Pinder with 14 seconds to go. And Glenn Murphy Jr.'s got to be kicking himself.
I mean, he had it. Like, if he just gets into his box and gets out clean, I'm pretty sure he's through to the Final Four.
But now he's got to push for everything that he's worth. He's going to pick up a spot here on Tony Scarbo. So he'll be 10th once that happens. 2 seconds behind Travis DeLeon. Right there with Michael Davis as well. He has fresher tires than Ryan Tiller, as well as Jonathan Mazzella. So he's got a couple of spots out there outstanding to pick up for sure. But right now to get to 4th, it would be 7 seconds on Jonathan Schwartz, who he's been basically identical lap times to, with 13 laps to go. Casey Brown is in. So this will actually be a crucial spot for Corey Blevins. Don't know why Casey Brown came in again. He didn't have to. It's a teammate of the 48, so that's not what he wanted to see.
I think right now, Glenn Murphy Jr., he has a shot at 5th place.
It's definitely a realistic shot at 5th place, but that's, again, 2 crucial spots. Corey Blevins just picked up one. Running solid lap time, is one of the quickest on the racetrack outside of Jared Lindsay. He was just waiting for Scarbo to pit at this point to take over the top spot. He's pulling away from Nathaniel Landwehr. Great battle going on here. Josh Lambert and the 41 machine. It depends, though. These guys up here start battling anything, it could definitely get Glenn Murphy Jr. up the order quicker. 1.3 behind Travis DeLeon. They're on the same strategy. Both came in at lap 44. He's going to need every single spot he can get. It is 6.4 seconds to Dylan Bird in 5th.
And that time by, Glenn Murphy Jr. was only 2/10 faster than Travis DeLeon.
So yeah, he's going to be hard-pressed to get around some of his guys that he was well ahead of even. He's got to pick up the pace. 12 laps to go. Tony
Heck,
Scarbo
even
in
Michael Davis was faster than Glenn Murphy.
There's Jared Lindsay rounding the final corner. Here comes Scarbo to give up the lead. Jared Lindsay will cross the stripe with 11 laps to go. And he will take back over the top spot. 3 seconds nearly, the advantage over Nathaniel Landwehr. That'll put Glenn Murphy Jr. up to 10th. Scarbo's out ahead of Corey Blevins. So Corey Blevins is done picking up spots unless someone has a connection issue or something like that. But he'll finish 15th here tonight. Glenn Murphy Jr. closing in on 9th. And he has gained no time from Michael Davis, who has pulled away from these guys. Still 2 seconds. Let's go ahead and start pulling up the points here again. Start doing some mental math in our head. First place, 25 points, all the way down to a 25th place finisher. Just 1 point, so right now Corey Blevins running in the 15th position. would net 11 points. Glenn Murphy Jr. currently running 9th. He gets 17 points. So that's a 6-point difference there. So taking out anything else, he was 17 behind coming in. So he's 11 down with that.
Plus the 8 from stage.
So he's 3 down, and then Corey Blevins led a lap. So he is 4 points down as it stands right now.
Plus, again, 0x bonus. Like, I still think Blevins has the 0x bonus on it. I think the 0x bonus is going to be the reason that...
So that
like,
would be
even
5 points that he needs to pick up.
Yeah.
So you'd have to finish 4th to get into the tie, 3rd to win it outright. And that's
what
what
did
he was...
need 9 total? Because 4 for 3, like 3 points currently for, you know, with his bonus and the finishing position. 1 for the bonus point, so that's 4, and then an extra 5 for the 0x. So that's a 9 total points. He would have to win the race.
It's something like that. Top 3, which he was well on his way to doing. And now he's got to hope guys ahead of him start having trouble with 9 laps to go. An uncharacteristic mistake from the 48, who had no idea that Corey Blevins was going to make an equally big as mistake on the same pit sequence. Not sure if the 13 knows what happened to Glenn Murphy Jr., but he's closing in on this 41 to pick up another spot, only 0.8 of a second, but he's really got to get 4 seconds over 8 laps, which is not happening.
I mean, he was almost a second faster that time by than Jonathan Mazzella.
He's got to get up to
Glenn
Dylan
Murphy
Bird.
Jr. was faster.
Josh Lambert, honestly, if he would have got some stage points, he could have been in more contention for this. But alas, the lack of stage points will keep the 26 machine out. But it was going to come down to Glenn Murphy Jr. He picks up another spot. He's going to make it interesting. He's got it 1.8 seconds to 6th. These guys are getting ready to start squabbling. So we could potentially see him get up to 6th, but to our rough mental math, he's going to come up just short. So it looks like your final 4 advancing to the next round would be Jonathan Schwartz, Ryan Tiller, Randy Arms, and Corey Blevins. It's unfortunate, though, because first round, John Furnass unable to be there for the first race of round of 8. He was eliminated. Same thing with Glenn Murphy Jr. So, obviously, life happens and gets in the way, but it's just a shame. We know he's been super quick all season long, and those are really 2 of the best drivers. But looking ahead to this next round, you got to think Randy Arms. No, he made a mistake here tonight as well. And I think it's him and Schwartz, your top 2. In terms of overall raw speed, but Ryan Tiller has a cool night. I mean, he's ahead of a lot of your championship contenders.
I'm putting all my money on Ryan Tiller. He is my champion.
Here, Josh Lambert picked up another spot. If he had stage points, this was going to be very interesting tonight, especially with the mistake that Blevins had. This was going to be a fascinating race to the finish here if we would have had some stage points out of the 26 machine. But he gave it his best shot. He was kind of right around 11th most of the night. And second half of the race, he turned it on. Glenn Murphy Jr. hasn't really made up any time. He was slower last lap than Michael Davis.
Although there's a little bit of a battle forming right in front of him. He might be able to get up another 3 spots.
Josh Lambert is a second ahead here, 5 laps to go. It might very well open up for him. But he's got to pass Lambert, Davis, Dylan Bird, and Ryan Tiller. He's got to pass a car a lap. Dylan Bird is starting to struggle on those older tires. You would also love a caution, potentially, to allow him to make a dash to the finish, but that would allow Corey Blevins to pick up spots as well. But he's pushing that 48 for all that he's worth. He hits the wall out of turn number 2.
I was going to say, last time by, Glenn Murphy, he was 4/10 faster than any car in this pack. And there he goes. He got around Ryan Tiller.
1.1 seconds, 4 laps to go. Tiller into the wall. He's going to pick up the draft here a little bit off of Dylan Bird. But I still think he needs 3rd or better at worst, or at best. I think that's his best case scenario. He might come up 2 spots short here tonight. We won't know how that battle with Landwehr and Jonathan Schwartz and Glenn Murphy Jr. ends, but with as hard as these guys are battling, Glenn Murphy Jr. is there. We'll wait for the official scoring.
We always have our little weekly chats with Speed Zone. They'll have a little bit of an update for us. They might be able to tell us.
And Dylan Bird struggling on the long run. Glenn Murphy Jr. probably going to make the send here. I'd imagine he would.
And he's already on the inside of him.
Kind of getting pinched down there. They'll lose time through 3. Has to clear him. He's going to love seeing the 2 wide ahead of him.
That gives him a little bit of draft.
3 laps to go. Gap is half of a second. The 41 had an incident getting onto pit road. That could be another spot for Corey Blevins, making this redundant as well. It looks like it will be. Again, not sure why the Speed Zone guys are pitting, giving spots to Corey Blevins, but they're helping him out a huge amount here. Through 3 and only right side's on, so we expect the 41 to get overtaken here by Corey Blevins, and there it is. 2 laps to go, and that's another huge spot. So they picked up spots on 2 of his teammates who did not have to come in and pit. But with 2 laps to go, he's got to get around Josh Lambert this lap and got to send it on Michael Davis the next lap to have any chance. But I still think he's going to come up just maybe 3 points short. We'll have a lap and a half to track down that 57.
He's giving it everything he's got.
Gap is under 4/10 of a second. But how about Jared Lindsay, though? It's not a bad thing when we don't talk about him because he's so far out in front. But through turn number 3, got Corey Blevins right ahead of him. And coming to the white flag, race is official. He'll lead off into turn number 1 for the final time. The battle for every single spot matters. Gap is now 2.5 car lengths and closing as they head off into turn number 1. The draft from this 48, pushing him forward all the while. Does he make the send? Does he wait till the tunnel turn? Does he wait to turn number 3?
Oh, he's going now.
57 runs way up the racetrack. Glenn Murphy Jr. used the intimidate button. But again, I think with the way that it ended up working out, he'll come up just a couple of points short, but what a hard charging to the end. Jared Lindsay through turn number 3 for the final time. And only his 3rd start this season. Started on pole, led the most laps. He's going to find his way into victory lane here tonight for the Pocono 60. Daniel Landwehr,
dominant performance,
comes home 2nd, Schwartz 3rd, and Glenn Murphy Jr. going to come home to take 4th. Just ahead of Michael Davis and Josh Lambert and Dylan Bird and Ryan Tiller. Scarbo beats Travis DeLeon to the line. They were actually having a last lap battle to round out your top 10. DeLeon has it, cooks it a little bit. 29 comes back at him. What a great run to the end for these guys. Clean, hard fought, competitive. What the LSRL is all about. And the shortest way around the racetrack prevails for that 29 machine. But an absolute drag race to the line. he will get it.
Shock you to hear they didn't say speed zone 1, 2, 3.
Does not surprise me in the slightest.
And you just let me know when you want them in here.
They're coming around for their. There goes the 41 hard onto pit road. Some shenanigans there, but how about it for Jared Lindsay? Nathaniel Landwehr is down pit road, and Jonathan Swartz doing their burnouts. We'll let them get their burnouts in here for a couple seconds, then we'll pull them in.
Going nose to nose, bumper to bumper.
I believe that is Joseph Green. Yeah, he's getting all his laps in. Massive respect for completing the whole race. In his debut here tonight. All right, I think they've had their fun. Let's pull them in here. Here with your race winner tonight, Jared Lindsay, in an absolutely dominating performance, leading the most laps, qualifying on pole, and ends up with the race victory here tonight, only in his third start. How'd you do it tonight?
My teammate Nate gave me some debriefing info and just did a little bit of practice, testing tunes with some stuff, try to get ready for tonight. I honestly didn't expect to run that great. And I guess somehow I was the fastest. I'm not really sure how. Glenn is a formidable opponent. Randy and Glenn had some trouble on pit road. Honestly, that's what really let me get away with it, or else we would have had some better racing coming to the finish. Just kind of everything unfolded, especially after the stage. I knew these guys were going to save fuel, but I wanted to see what I could do not saving to set up for the second run. So I gave up all my track position thinking I would get it back, and fortunately I have a good reputation with most of the guys in the league, so a lot of guys were giving me space and letting me kind of get by. I mean, so we got back to the front and burned up our stuff a little bit, so I couldn't really get away from Randy. So I just radioed to him, the pit, to try to work together and separate ourselves. And they made some mistakes. I almost sped on pit road, very, very close. And it just kind of lined up for us.
Absolutely a well-earned result, like you said. Just keeping it mistake-free on pit road. We've seen it all season long. Crucial to victory, and you were able to pull away from what would have been an interesting battle between the top four, I believe. We're all going at it late. And like you said, an interesting strategy call in the first stage. Kind of split down the middle. Guys were going full out saving, running out, coming to the pit road. And guys that just said, I want to go as hard as I can and see what I have for the second stint. It looks like that worked out for you well here tonight. Before we
yeah,
go ahead.
It did. It was cool to see how the admin set this one up. It led to a really interesting dynamic that I didn't see in the last season. I didn't see in last season when we were running, and we all kind of griped. It's cool to see that they listened. I think they made it interesting for everybody that was watching.
Yeah, absolutely. Got some fuel strategy in that first stage, which I always love to see. And then we had a lot of on-track racing, good passes, very clean as always, no cautions, love to see it. And a well-earned first place here for you tonight. Before we let you go, anyone you want to shout out or say hi to for the broadcast?
Oh, absolutely. We're going to shout out Moflo Racing, Speed Zone Esports, all my teammates. These guys make me better every time I race with them, and I'm appreciative of them. Cusinella's Pizzeria and Bakery, Palm Chevy here in Ocala, Florida. If you need a Chevy, you come see me over there at Palm Chevy. Other than that, and I want to thank all the admins in the league that take the time to do this, and I want to thank you and the broadcast to give us a place to race and showcase it, and just really appreciate the time you guys do put into it, because I know it's a lot of work.
Absolutely. Well, appreciate the kind words, and congratulations on your first win of the season here tonight.
Thank you.
Here with your second place finisher, Nathaniel Landwehr. Started all the way back in the 11th position, and he was certainly on a charge through the field. I think, officially was your hardest charger as well to boot. It was in the mix with those top four. Then kind of after pit stops, Jared Lindsay found a different gear, but nevertheless a hard-fought second place for you here tonight and highest finishing Toyota to boot.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I thought I ran pretty good. Wish I had a better qualifying effort. Could have probably won the stage. Would have probably set the tone for the rest of the race. Slid the stall and lost about 4 seconds on Jared, and that's pretty much what I needed to be there at the end with him. But I think overall we had a pretty solid run.
Absolutely. How close was it for you guys in that first stage on fuel? I know a bunch of guys are coming in on fumes.
So I was clutching the whole way all through turn 3 and just trying to save fuel whenever I was tucked up behind someone. I had 0.2 gallons left at the stage break.
That's incredible.
So I had that all planned out before, and I was just praying that like I was one of the few that was doing it right, and worked out for me. If I had like an extra lap or 2 in the tank, extra lap or 2 on the stage, could have probably got the stage win.
Absolutely. I saw you were charging there late, so almost made a pass on that last lap. You're charging after Schwartz, so very well deserved effort here tonight. Had to go through some fuel strategy, had to kind of make the tires work in that second stint. A lot of passing here tonight, and kept it clean as well. So very well earned result here for you here tonight.
Thank you.
Before we let you go, anyone you want to shout out or say hi to for the broadcast?
Just shouting out family back home watching.
Absolutely love to hear it. Well, congratulations on a second place here tonight, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you. See you.
Yep. Here with our third place finisher here tonight, Jonathan Schwartz in the 58 machine came in comfortably ahead of the cut line, plus 32, and with the third place finisher has secured his place into the round of 4 next week. Just talk me through that first stint a little bit. How close was it on fuel for you guys up at the front?
I know for sure I couldn't make it, so I pitted early, tried to see if the strategy would work out to where nobody else can make it and I could maybe pull out another stage win, but they made it to my surprise, so it just turned out the way it was.
Absolutely. Yeah, the alternative strategy, especially given how large Pocono is, not a whole lot of risk. You stayed on the lead lap and able to just try some different things, experiment a little bit. Didn't quite work out for you, but plus 32 coming in tonight. You were given that freedom from a strong run last week to kind of experiment and put some notes in that notebook. But you got the stage caution at lap 25, and then you were charging back up through the field. You and Glenn were kind of around each other all night long, and coming down to that final green flag pit stop, just getting in and out clean seemed to be the most important thing.
Yeah, I lost a lot of track position on that restart, but after we got kind of spread, I was able to come back and get a third place finish, so it worked out for us.
Absolutely. Passed a lot of cars to be only a net gain of 1, but nevertheless secured that place in the round of 4, so can't complain tonight. And a well-earned result for sure.
Yep, thanks.
Yeah, before we let you go, anyone you want to shout out to or say hi to for the broadcast?
As always, just want to thank you guys for broadcasting for us every week. You guys do a great job. Our league members and admins also do a great job for us, so thanks again to them for putting on a great show.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations tonight on a well-earned third-place finish, highest of the playoff drivers to boot, so got some momentum heading into next week for sure.
All right, see you then.
Yep.
He only got a speed zone.
Yeah,
here.
we're gonna go chase him in right after he left. So here with the rest of Speed Zone Esports, the only ones that listen to us ramble on. Ryan Tiller, you should be in. Randy Arms, you should be comfortably in, I believe, as well. Just talk me through y'all's race and how close it was on fuel for the first stint for a lot of you guys.
I knew that I could take any risk, but on the first stretch, I just decided not to come down, top it off, and safely make it to the stage break. I didn't really care about stage points tonight. I just knew that I had to keep the car distance within 10, and I'm good. So the whole strategy was to keep who I needed to in my mirror or around me, and just race for points. So.
Absolutely. Getting on and off pit road on that last green flag pit stop seemed to be the undoing for a couple of guys. Randy, I know yourself kind of smoked it getting into your box.
Yeah, I was just kind of watching Jared's bumper and just forgot to look for my sign. And by the time I saw it, it was way too late. I locked up the brakes and it was all over after that.
Yeah, and then Glenn Murphy Jr. as well, kind of didn't necessarily miss his sign, but rather his box just kind of, pressure situation there happened, missed first week, and just kind of overshot his box, had to back up and lost a lot of time. And Corey Blevins, I know, was fighting for that last spot with Glenn, had a speeding penalty that he had. So a lot of guys having issues on the money stop for sure.
Oh, can we get any word on what happened at the start of the race for the damage?
Yeah, Josh Lambert ran into the back of Glenn, and I know the race hadn't even started yet, so I'm just kind of curious what the way the bonus points were going to work out on that one.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess I could talk to the other admins. I mean, as you say, we get a point for no incidents, and the way the points came out, or say Blevins beat Glenn by 1 point. So,
Oh my goodness, yeah.
I don't know since that happened before the race. I don't know. We'll have
Yeah, we were
to talk
running
about it
we were
before
running
we
the
make a final call.
commercials, and I saw it in the picture-in-picture. I'm like, wait a minute, somebody got hit on pit road, and sure enough, we go to the green flag, and Glenn Murphy Jr.'s back bumper is destroyed, and Josh Lambert's left front is killed. So, yeah, I thought it was interesting. You said you do have the points. It was 1 point. That's crazy. So that pit road mistake.
And is that with Glenn Murphy not getting the 5 and Corey getting the 5?
Well, it's actually 1 point.
They both finished the
or-
race, I remember. So that's the
Yeah.
5.
Yeah.
It's just
Oh,
it
right,
came
right,
down to
right.
that 0x, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll let y'all handle that. Y'all get to make the big boy decisions.
Yeah.
But talk me through the round of 4 here, because I know normally we'd be heading next week to the finale, but we have a round number 3, the top 4 drivers advance, which we tentatively have. But then the top 2 drivers from that advance, and then the wild card. So you talk me through that a little bit, just for the viewers tonight.
Yeah, I believe it's just one race, if I remember correctly. I'll be honest with you, I kind of forget.
Yeah, this is 14 of
Uh,
16. I can't give you that. So next week's 15, and then finale in 2 weeks.
Yeah, we have one race, and it's just the top 2 in points, they advance. And then we'll have 2 wild cards. One of them will be the best person or the person with the best average finish of the whole year. That's not in. And then the driver with the most participation. That's not in the top 2 as well. So even the ones that, even drivers I think didn't even make the playoffs. They even have a chance for that. So yeah, anybody.
So Glenn Virginia, even if obviously y'all will talk about the pit road thing, he still has a chance if the average finish works out in his favor with the points. John
Correct,
Furnass might have a
yes.
chance. I know he's not here tonight, but so yeah, we'll just see how it works out. We'll be excited to see who the wild cards are. So definitely everything to play for next week.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Interesting.
Yes, it will. Next week we head off to, let me just double check the notebook. Homestead, Miami. That's going to be a good one.
Yes.
Homestead and
Can't wait.
Charlotte to end it. So looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else y'all got to add? Anyone else? Scarabo, Casey Brown, Eric Shields. How y'all doing tonight?
Pretty good.
Night.
Good, yeah. No cautions again tonight, so love it.
That's the way we have to run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tony, you had that great battle with Travis De Leon on the last lap for 9th, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was the best my car felt all year. I really do love this track. I know it's my hometown track. I actually only live about 10 minutes away from it, but I'm glad I had a fast car here tonight.
Absolutely. Well, always a pleasure, fellas. We'll be excited to learn the point standings finalized, and then look for the wild cards, and look forward to seeing y'all next week at Homestead.
All
Hey,
right.
thank you again.
Thank you.
Yep.
I like pickles.
Thank you, Ryan. Last but certainly not least, Chris Pinder has joined the CMS Voice channel.
I figured it out.
He figured it out. Started 13th.
All the followers on.
Yeah. Started 13th, finished 13th, had the right paint scheme. Didn't make too many mistakes on pit road like some of the other guys did.
Did you see my mistake though?
Did I? Did you have one?
I didn't check my tires when I short pitted.
Oh no.
I would have gained I think I lost 6-7 seconds doing that.
Hmm.
Yeah,
And that was right around the top 10 where that ended up being, I think, right?
yeah, it
Oh.
was.
Oh no. I'll take back what I
That's what it
said.
is.
Yeah.
It was a super fun race.
It was. Travis isn't here with us, but he had a fantastic battle all night long.
Yeah.
He came home 10th. He was just one spot off biggest mover. So weird that a CMS guy doesn't get it on our channel, but
Sorry, buddy.
it's all right. You know, it happens sometimes.
I think he's here.
Oh, there he is.
No.
Travis, you looked really good in the 12 car. I love the Cheetos car. And
Thank you.
came on with the top 10 tonight. Battling all the way to the line with Scarebo there, so that was pretty fun.
Yeah. I wasn't gonna fucking, sorry, I wasn't racing hard, but
Yeah.
I was like, hey, we'll have some fun with it.
Yeah, but kept the car in one piece, up 8 spots. No cautions again, so a refreshing feeling for sure.
Definitely, that was awesome.
Yeah. Thoughts on Homestead next week?
I like Homestead.
I think that's a couple great tracks in a row.
Yeah, Homestead and then Charlotte to close it out. So that's going to be
Charlotte
good.
be crazy.
200
Where were we
laps.
last week?
We were at Talladega last week. So those
What a last 4 races.
Right? Very excited.
Do you guys know who made the points yet?
So they are figuring that out because we happened to capture a crime on pit road early in the race.
Really?
So confirmed though, it's actually for the last spot that they're gonna have to discuss. Jonathan Schwartz is in, Ryan Tiller is in, Randy Arms is in. Tentatively, Corey Blevins is in over 1 point by Glenn Murphy Jr. Before the race even started though, Josh Lambert grids up. They start rolling. He just runs right into the back of Glenn Murphy Jr. So Glenn Murphy Jr. lost the bonus point for the 0x before the race even got green. So they're going to have a discussion and see what to do there. And then if he gets the bonus point, it's a tie, and then it goes to average finish. So they'll see. But tentatively, it is Schwartz, Tiller, Arms, and Blevins. And then obviously they have the round of 4, which is a little different. The top 2 in points advance, and then they have 2 wild cards, average finisher, and then most participation. So looking forward to seeing how that shakes out.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
So, that happened on pit road and people didn't have a freak out?
I don't know. We saw it. I have voice chat turned off. If I was Glenn Murphy Jr., I'd be pretty upset because I'm sitting there. The race hasn't even started, and someone's running into me.
No one said anything. Didn't even know what happened.
Yeah, but it's pretty I mean, it's almost too respectful. Like if you're 1 point out and someone ran into you before the race is green, I'd be trying to get that overturned. I know iRacing is no fault incidents, but that's kind of like.
You know what? I kind of got to agree with him not being a fault. It was before the race even started.
Right. Like I know it's classified as not at fault, but literally, if you're standing still, what could you have done differently? Just start from the pits instead? I don't know.
Yeah, it's
so I'll
like
let
a loophole almost.
I'll let the
Especially
admins
when that
figure
was his
one out.
only 4x of the race.
Yeah, I'll let the admins talk that one out. That's the big boy decisions I got to make. It's above my pay grade.
You get
pull
paid?
a NASCAR. Just let both of them in.
Jeff Gordon has been added to the LSRL round of 4. Very nice.
That was the dumbest thing they've ever done.
So funny.
What was for dinner tonight?
What? Pizza.
Oh, nice.
Pepperoni
Art?
pizza.
I had fajita chicken and mashed cauliflower.
Ooh, that sounds good.
It was good. I love mashed cauliflower.
I love fajitas.
Very nice.
So next week we are at
A racetrack.
We're at
Homestead?
Homestead, and then for ARS, we are at Atlanta.
That's going to be an interesting week.
Yes, it is.
Or the Georgia Tech Sucks 90.
That's not what I paid for, so there we go. Get rid of the problem there. All right. Let's go. Yeah. Crazy.
You're a small man.
Yes, I know. All right.
Well, that's rude.
Yeah, I know. All right, fellas. Always a pleasure. We'll see you next Monday night.
See you, buddy.
Yes, sir. Have a good night.
Yeah, you too. I can already see. I saw a couple of the admins getting together already, so we'll wait for the official announcement. But yeah, I'll go take a look. I did see it, the picture in picture. I was like, I'm pretty sure someone just got hit on pit road. Crazy sequence of events there. 1 point. It was closer than I thought it would be. I thought it was going to be out by 3 and it wouldn't have really mattered. But
Yeah.
it matters a whole heck of a lot. Oh, man. So we'll see what they decide. Here is your final race results here this evening. Congratulations again to Jared Lindsay on his first win of the season. Speed Zone Esports, dominating performance as always. But when you make up most of the league, you show up every week, you're consistent. I mean, you kind of expect the results. Glenn Murphy Jr. We'll wait to see, but how close it could be. All right, your final thoughts on the race here tonight.
It's your standard LSRL race. No cautions. You get the stage. Although surprisingly dominant performance by Jared Lindsay. Like it's what racing's supposed to be.
Yeah, had a little bit of strategy in that first stage. Had a lot of passing. Pocono wasn't as much of a draft fest as we expected it to be, so that was good to see. 14 cars on the lead lap. 3 only 1 lap down, and Joseph Green in his debut 2 laps down. Looking forward to next Monday night. ARS heads to New Atlanta for the Rambling Wreck 90, and then next Tuesday, the round of 4 finale, the one and only race in that round at Homestead. We were off this Friday for Rodcar. Draft Heart 300 special event taking place, so be sure to tune into that. Puffer Zone Network will have flag-to-flag coverage of that. And we will see you back here next Monday night. Y'all take care.